Hi guys, Tindo's Line 671, and I'm coming at you with an updated Ninja deck profile as promised. It took me a while to update this deck profile only because the new support for the ninjas really changed the deck a lot, so I had some redesigns and I kept some tech cards of my own. So without further ado, let's go and get straight into this. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and be a part of the notification squad. And without further ado, let's get started the deck profile. So first off, the centerpiece of the deck, Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo, the main searcher, and the main starter of the deck. Pretty much the straddles of the deck. You can search for both ninjas and ninjutsus depending on how he's summoned, basically. And to continue, we also run 3 copies of the new Tabari. I got my super rares thanks to my friends. This one, pretty much when you send this from your hand to the graveyard, you can special summon a ninja from your hand, so you can special summon Hanzo, so you can search for a ninja. And also, while he's on the field, you could fusion summon for a ninja fusion from your extra deck during the opponent's main phase or battle phase. Quick effect. This came in handy, especially when they have effects that prevent them from being affected by card effects during the main phase. So Tabari the Sky Ninja. And then next for the 3 copies of Mitsu. This is pretty much one of the first ninja's negates. She can negate monster effects by targeting a face-down defense mode monster and herself. Flip that face-down defense monster face up, and if it was a ninja, negate the opponent's activated monster effect. So basically, flip another face-down monster face up, then flip this one face down, and then negate that effect. So she's pretty much an effect veiler, and yes, pretty much ninjas have their own negate now, and their own answer to Nibiru. But there's a lot more now from the last deck profile I presented to you guys. Next, for the multiple copies, we run 2 copies of Joe, the Gravity Ninja. So this one is a beast. If he's no more special summon or even flip face up, you can target up to 2 face up monsters on the field and change them to face down defense mode, and it's permanent. They stay that way, meaning they cannot change their battle positions. His other effect comes up every now and then, but not too often. If a monster is flipped face up, you could target one face up card in the field and on the opponent's side of the field, one card the opponent controls, and destroy it. So a very good card, and he's devastating. You can special summon him with Mizan, you can special summon him to Tabari from the hand. He is a game changer for ninjas in more ways than one. So 2 copies of Joe. For the 1-0s, I run Kageru, the Cannon Ninja. She comes in handy, comes in clutch. So she special summons a ninja from your graveyard. Yeah. But in face down defense mode, that's perfectly fine, because Mizan could still you could still special summon Mizan even if your ninjas are face down. That's the beautiful thing about contact fusion, or just fusion summoning in general. Then one copy of Baku. Excuse me. And this one is also a new card. If he's added into your hand in any way, except by drawing it, you can special summon him. So if you search for him with Hanzo, then you can special summon him. He has an effect when he's special summoned, or flip face up. Target one ninja or ninjutsu art from your graveyard, or face up on your spawn trap zone. I just realized that part. And then return it to your hand. But normally you want to return your ninjutsu cards from your graveyard or your ninja monsters. So this one comes in clutch, and he's a free special summon in a way. To add to the new monsters, 1 copy of Green Ninja. This one works when a monster is special summoned to your field, any monster. Target one of them, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, change that monster down defense mode. So You want to mainly chain this when you're special summoning your ninjas, like you special summon Baku, activates effect, then you chain Green Ninja, you special summon Green Ninja, put Baku face down, then you return your ninja, then you fuse these two basically into Mizen. So excellent card, one copy of Green Ninja. Also, if he's sent to the graveyard in any way, hand or field to the graveyard that is, you target one monster in the field, Book of Moon, from attack position to face down. This really comes in handy, so yeah, as long as it's not a link monster, you could pretty much Book of Moon your opponent's monsters. And then personal tech, not everyone runs this, but I like it. Yellow Dragon Ninja. So pretty much he can only be special summoned by a ninja or a ninjutsu card. And he has a quick effect. You could send one ninja and one ninjutsu card from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard, and he's Twin Twisters. It comes in very handy, especially when the opponent has field spells that would protect the monsters they have, or like does something really powerful. So this one comes in handy so much. I cleared so much of my opponent's back row and their main continuous spells and field spells just by using this card. So excellent monster, definitely a good detriment for the deck. So that'll be it for the ninja monsters. For the support lineup, we run 2 copies of Ash Blossom, because this is Ash Blossom. She's everywhere. She's the popular girl on the block, and she pretty much negates what needs to be negated, like searchers or stuff that special summons from the deck or sends from the deck to the graveyard. And then for my trump card, 1 copy of Dark Samorg. I figured since we are playing ninjas, I might as well run Dark Samorg. You could special summon this from your hand by banishing one dark and one wind monster from your graveyard. And if he's in your graveyard, you could still special summon him by by banishing again one dark and one wind monster from your hand. But the ace in the hole is that your opponent cannot set cards at all, so he really comes in handy in certain matchups. I made a True Draco deck actually scoop when they saw this one on first turn, and I thought, wait, what? I'm like, oh, because you gotta set your cards and you gotta play card demise. So I could see how like this makes certain decks scoop. So 1 copy of Dark Samorg. Some other card I run with that, but we'll get to that soon. 1 copy of Reinforcement of the Army, because Hanzo's our without a doubt our best fan of the deck. We also want to search for Kagero and Green Ninja when it comes up. And yes, if you haven't noticed, the other ninjas are different types, but that's okay. That means we could play so many other cards in here too. 1 copy of Instant Fusion, because it's Instant Fusion. We have a new target for this, so I'll show you what that is in a little bit, and the best part is you could even activate that effect because of Instant Fusion. So 1 copy of Instant Fusion, a fine addition for the deck. So 1 copy of Called by the Grave, because it's Called by the Grave. Without a doubt, we are playing control variant of this deck, but we do have some combo pieces, so we play Called by the Grave just in case. Also, even if they don't have hand traps, it helps us control the field, or outweigh the opponent's resources in the graveyard. So 1 copy of that. And then next for the generic spells, you run 3 copies of Book of Moon. There's a ninjutsu card in here that combos so well with Book of Moon, so you run 3 copies of this one. And it helps with the opponent's floodgates, so you put them face down so their effects are inactive. So Book of Moon comes in clutch. That'll be it for generic spells. For the ninjutsu spells, 3 copies of Notebook of Mystery, a fine addition to the ninja arsenal. So if the opponent controls a card, he could set 1 ninja monster and up to 1 ninjutsu card spell trap from your deck and our graveyard, but only one could come from each. So meaning you can only, for example, only set 1 ninja from your graveyard and 1 ninjutsu card from your deck. It can't be 2 ninjas, it can't be 2 ninjutsus. Or you could just set 1 ninja from your deck, or 1 ninjutsu from your deck, or 1 ninja from your graveyard, 1 ninjutsu card from your graveyard, because it says up to. So you could play around this card quite a lot. So second effect doesn't really come up. If this set card was destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you Book of Moon a monster. So I guess if the Harpy's Feather Duster, you could get a benefit off of that. But other than that, you'll want to chain this anyways if they activate something like that. So you're fine. So I think the only scenario where this will come up is Night Beam if it's destroyed while it's set, because you can't chain it. But then it'll just trigger that effect anyways. So Notebook of Mystery. 1 copy of Iron Digger Ninjutsu Art. This is a pretty good card. So equipped to a monster, it becomes Ninja. It gains 500 attack. And you could banish 1 ninja in your graveyard and target 1 card in the field destroyed. So this really helps clear like problematic cards like Floodgates. So very good card. Also, if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, target 1 of your banished ninjas, add it to your hand or special summon them face down defense mode. So this one really comes in clutch, more ways than one. And a lot of people are going to scratch their heads about this one, but I run 1 copy of Ninjutsu Art of Alchemy. I know most people run Pod of Prosperity, but I don't have that yet. And I saw a tutorial or a deck profile where someone topped with this deck, and they said they don't really have to run Pod of Prosperity. Some people say you have to, but to me, my alternative for alchemies, or my alternative for Prosperity is Alchemy, because you have so many ninjutsu cards that are face up on the field, and you could draw 2 cards, and depending how you play the deck, you could keep using this. So this is okay to, so if they ash this, it's okay. You could bring it back of Baku or something, and then you can use it again. So this says destroy all ninjutsu cards you control, and just white control ninjutsu card, and then draw 2 cards. That does sound like it's situational, but that's why we run the original handy dandy notebook. Just kidding, I had to. Ninjutsu Art Notebook. So once per turn, you can send 1 ninja from your hand to the graveyard. Send a ninjutsu spell trap directly from your deck. So you want to use this to set either one of your ninjutsu spells and traps, or even alchemy. So this fishes out the alchemy, then you activate it, and you just destroy this one, then you draw 2 cards. Very good deck thinning. So if you guys don't have Prosperity, this is the best alternative for Prosperity. But you can run Prosperity if you want, but this is my personal alternative. Only 1 of each because you could search for it. And that's the best I could say about it, and it really helped me a lot. This deck helped me contend with Sky Strikers and even Sharks. Also, I was able to trade blows with a full-on dinosaur deck. That was really interesting matchup. So yes, so that'll be it for the spells. Moving on to the trap cards. 3 copies of the new one, Ninjutsu Art of Dancing Leaves. So by targeting 1 ninja or 1 face-down monster on the field as cost, you could tribute it and then special summon a ninja from your deck. So that's any face-down monster, if you read it carefully. So that's why Book of Moon goes with this so well. And also, you could, in second effect, you could target 1 ninjutsu continuous spell and trap in your spell and trap zone, return to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn, so you could bounce back any of your transformation trap cards, or you could even bounce this back to use again. The best part is tributing is part of the effect, so if you ash this, it's fine. You still keep. If they ash this, it's fine. You still get to keep your ninja, and then you bounce back anyways and play it again on the opponent's turn. So it's very good ash beta, if you will. Okay, next we run 1 copy of Ninjutsu Art Duplication, like everyone else does. This helps fish out your Hanzo by tributing a ninja. Special summon any number of ninjas from your deck in attack position or face down with combined levels less than or equal to the tributed monster. So you could tribute Hanzo to go into Hanzo to proc off his effect, or you could special summon, like if Hanzo's a level 4, 2 copies to Dabare, 1 face up, 1 face down, and 1 copy of Mitsu. So you have a fusion and a negation on hand. It's even better when you tribute like let me show you Joe, because you summon up to level 8. So you could summon like Hanzo, Mitsu, and then Green Ninja down defense mode, and then proc off Hanzo's effect. So it's a very good card, but just be careful because tributing a ninja is a cost, so if they ash this, it's kind of detrimental, but that's perfectly fine. Because you want to add, because you only play one copy of this, so you want to activate this as a trump card. This didn't get ashed at all, because I, played it smart, and I baited out the ash, and I got this to proc off so many times. And it played an important part of the deck. The only downside is if this is destroyed, like if it leaves the field, it destroys the ninjas that I special summon of it, but it's okay. You have so many quick effects that could make you fuse during the opponent's turn and everything, so it's not such a big step down for the ninjas. And then last for the ninjutsu cards, we run one copy of Ninjutsu Art Transformation. This old school card, if you will, could special summon a wing beast by attributing a face-up ninja monster as cost. A wing beast, a beast, or an insect type from your deck, whose combined levels is equal to the level of your attributed monster that you had on the field, +3. So if you tribute Hanzo, it's +3, and it's a level 7, so this fishes out Dark Samorg. So you could do the plays that I mentioned earlier. So yeah, this one either brings out Samorg, or if it's not necessary, bring out Tabari, because he's a wing beast. Okay, so that'll be it for the ninjutsu traps. For the regular trap cards, to accompany Dark Samorg, we still run 3 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance. This version of the deck, I still have it be a heavy-going first deck. So we play Anti-Spell Fragrance, we set it up with Hanzo, and then we flip Transformation, Ninjutsu Art Transformation, so I could bring out Dark Samorg. Boom. Yeah, so that's how it works. And yes, you pretty much lock your opponents out of using spells and traps that turn. They could still chain on top of Anti-Spell Fragrance, so as long as you're ready for that. That's why you bring out like Mizan and all those guys to accompany Dark Samorg, so he doesn't have to do all the work. So 3 copies of Anti-Spell. I'm sorry, I'll leave these here. And then 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence, because we do run hand traps in here, because if we are to go second, we could still disrupt the opponent, and we could still set up where Anti-Spell is still relevant going second, because you just clear the board, and then whatever they top deck, they cannot activate right away because of Anti-Spell. Okay, so that'll be it for the trap cards. Now for the extra deck. Now we run 3 copies of Mizan. This one you probably saw from my last deck profile. If an opponent activates a card or effect during their turn, you can special summon 1 ninja from your deck in face-up or face-down defense mode. A very powerful effect. And yes, you could summon like Hanzo or Tabari, so you could proc off Hanzo's effect, and then Tabari you could fusion. He has another effect where if you control a face-down monster, the opponent cannot target this card for attacks, but that hardly comes up, but that's okay. So 3 copies of Mizan, we maxed him out because we fusion summon a lot in this deck. And now the new kid in the block, Yagura Maru, the Armor Ninja. So this Mecha Ninja, when he's fusion summon or special summon, in which you could summon him with instant fusion, so he's our main target for instant fusion, as long as you remember that. I mistimed that. There, instant fusion. So he's the main copy of that. So if he's fusion summon or special summon from the extra deck, or flip face up, you could banish 1 ninja or ninjutsu card from your hand, graveyard, or face up on the field. Target 1 card on the field and banish it. So you could use Tabari to fuse during the opponent's turn, and then banish 1 key card that they need to continue their plays. So there's a lot of disruptions in ninjas. It's gonna really intensify the duels, so as long as you're ready for that. So yeah, Yagura Maru is a fine addition to the deck. Mecha Ninja. I like saying that. Okay, so next for the ninja lineup, we run, for the links, 2 copies of Ninja Grandmaster Shizo. So he's another searcher for the deck, if you will. He takes 2 ninja monsters to link into him. During the main phase, you could just set 1 ninjutsu card to spell trap directly from the deck, so he gets around Ash Blossom. Also, if he points to a monster, he can't be targeted for attacks or effects, so potentially you could get around Effect Veiler and Infinite Permanence if you play your cards right. So 1 copy of Shizo, very simple, or 2 copies of Shizo, sorry, very simple effect. That'll be it for the ninjas for the extra deck. Now for the other generic links, Cross Sheep, because we fusion summon so many times. So we special summon Mizan to a zone that he points to, and then we use the effect to special summon a level 4 monster from your graveyard, which is going to be Hanzo. And maybe sometimes Kagero, but mostly Hanzo, so we could get a search off when he's special summoned to search for a ninja. So 1 copy of Cross Sheep. Just to summarize it for you guys. So 1 copy of IP Masquerena, because we're doing stuff during the opponent's turn anyways, so we could also link summon during the opponent's turn if we want to, if the situation calls for it. And 1 copy of Unicorn to combo of Masquerena, and we could spin cards on the opponent's field or even during the opponent's turn. Very cool combo. Next, we want 1 copy of Access Code Talker to accompany the Unicorn, so you could spin a card, then later link into Access Code to shoot more cards on the field. So even though this is the control variant, this deck could OTK if it really needs to, so we have a lot of OTK pieces. Okay, to continue the link lineup, for the big guns, we also run Borosword Dragon, because you know, he could attack twice if you change one monster in the field to defense mode, and you could, the cool part is that you could equip him with Iron Digger, so he becomes a ninja, so you can make him attack twice. And if Mizan's on the field, Mizan also says you could have all ninjas attack directly, so it combos well with your Borosword Dragon. I forgot about that part, my apologies. So Borosword Dragon, and also if it battles a monster, it gains the attack. So he's pretty much honest, basically, if you will. So Borosword Dragon, and he also can't be destroyed by battle. So if you combo him with IP Masquerena, he can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So that's a really cool part of the deck if you want to go that route. So next for the big guns, we run Sari Yuja, only because there's certain boss monsters we run. It could help us fish out resources we need in the deck if we use 4 more link materials. So we draw 4 cards and then put 3 in the bottom of the deck. And also if like Dark Samar gets stuck in our hand, we could use the 3rd effect to special summon Dark Samar. So yeah, and also make Dark Samar stronger or any of your ninjas. So sorry, just Skuldred just for the utility. He does, I hardly had to summon him, but if I need to, he does come up every now and then. And then last but not least, 1 copy of Underworld Goddess, because we summon so many ninjas in here, and sometimes we just want to link away a unbreakable monster and then negate like all their effects on the field for their monsters, basically. Like negate all of the face-up monsters the opponent controls, really. So Underworld Goddess, she's also unaffected by the opponent's card effects, except the ones that target. So she's a really good card overall, and the only link 5 we play in here. I don't play Appaloosa because I feel like there's a lot going on already, like there's not really a need for her. And there are just times where the opponent powers through Appaloosa, so I decided to play a different route. But if you guys want to play Appaloosa, you could go ahead and take out the Saryuja and play Appaloosa. That's totally up to you, but me personally, I prefer to take a different route for this deck. So that'll be it for the extra deck. Side deck, I'll just go through it for you guys really quick, because we all like know what these cards do, but only certain cards I'll go into detail. 2 copies of Nibiru, because you know, it's a rock. Thanks, I know. He's got Nerves of Steel. Just kidding. 2 copies of Ghost Sister, because, you know, when you're in clutch for time, sometimes you just want to gain that life points to gain the advantage. So Ghost Sister, triple tactics, because everyone's playing monster effects on your turn. You might as well get a benefit out of it. So triple tactics. Oh, and one more monster. One copy of Amorphage Goliath. So this one says while he's on the field, neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck except Amorphage monsters. So that comes in clutch. I have one more card in the side deck that accompanies him, so I'll get to that soon. So 2 copies of Talent for the spells. Book of Eclipse, because sometimes they have targeting protection, so you side into the Eclipse just in case. So like if you're going second, you side out of the Dark Simorgh lock, and then you go into Eclipse or something. So yeah, or depending really, you could, and what's like necessary to side out. That's totally up to you, but I prefer to only side into the Eclipse because we're going for a first turn anti-spell. So 2 copies of Book of Eclipse. 2 copies of Lightning Storm in case you're going second, because we want to clear their back row, especially when they're playing like Sky Strikers. This came in clutch. 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster for the same purpose. Okay, that'll be it for the spells. And then for the traps, the Deep Barrier, because there's like a lot of Sword Souls and like a lot of Seed Summon Turbos. So you want to lock out like especially fusions too. Like yeah, Despia, so Deep Barrier comes in clutch. As long as you have a plan to like finish the game after, because you know it only lasts for 1 turn. Then last but not least, 1 copy of Super Transformation. This one we combo with Amorphage Goliath. With Amorphage Goliath. So this one says, guitar 1 face of ninja you control and 1 face of monster the opponent controls. Send them both to the graveyard and then special summon 1 dragon, dinosaur, sea serpent type from your deck, whose level is equal to the combined levels of the monster. Less than or equal to. So let's say for example they have like a Despia fusion monster in the field and you have like a ninja on board. That's perfectly fine. Or like if they have Alibur, yeah, we'll go for Alibur. And you have Hanzo, you like, okay, I'll chain this. You send both him and the Alibur to the graveyard to special summon Goliath from your deck, and they're lockout of extra deck monsters for that turn. So as long as you have like something to back that up, basically, to protect your Goliath, then you should be fine. So timing, that's all I'll say. So I could go even further and like side our main board into Solemn Judgments, but I choose this deck to be flexible, where it's not like they run Flakegates, but it's not a total lockdown deck. So even if you break this board, there'll be ways to recover because they're ninjas. That is their ninja way. They'll find a way, no matter what happens, to get the mission done, which is take down the target. It's okay. But anyways, that'll be it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this. I worked on this for a very long time, and I want to make sure this was fully updated before I show you guys the updated deck profile. So thank you guys. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell and be a part of the notification squad. Thank you so much for all your support. You guys are all awesome, and we'll see you guys next time. See you later, guys.